So what are you worried about? This seems to be the pervasive question that underlies this particular passage in the gospel. And if not to the extreme of worry, then perhaps we could rephrase the question. What are you most concerned about? What's important for you to have or to do or to accomplish? Maybe such questions are a bit probing, too difficult for us to answer frankly or even succinctly, because maybe in truth we are worried or concerned about many things, and it's hard to pinpoint what is most important to us. And like all questions posed to us by others, the responses might tend to meet the inquirer's expectations. In this case, those of Jesus himself. Yet, to get to the heart of the lesson, we might ask ourselves honestly, how many of the things that concern us, that occupy our time and cost us our money, truly would fall into the category of the things of God and his kingdom? Does our daily to-do list have prayer at the very top? Our weekly one always start with Mass? Does our budget planning start with setting something aside for charity and for church? If we could accurately recall the waking hours of our days in the past week, with what would we find ourselves to have been most preoccupied? How do we spend that precious time that is allotted to us? What portion of it is devoted to God, to others, to ourselves? Maybe we might look at our checkbooks as well, and after our necessary expenses are paid, is there some left over, and where does it go? If we had to categorize it, does it go more to us than it does to others or to God? Indeed, we would probably want to tell Jesus that he and his Father are of the greatest importance to us, and that prayer and worship and service are among our top priorities in life. But then, would our schedule and our balance sheets really back that up and tell the same story? Jesus well knows that as with the people in his day, so not much different in ours. It's easy to get caught up in temporalities. That is, those things we need and want in life, but which in the end may have little value in light of eternity. Of course, we need to be concerned about the basic necessities of life: food, clothing, shelter, and so many others. But sadly, our human tendency is to let those legitimate concerns morph into the desire for the best of clothes, gourmet dining, top-shelf drinking, elaborate houses, luxury vehicles. And then the bulk of our time, our energy, our resources ends up getting used up in pursuit of these, and once acquired, the maintenance of them. So, the truth becomes evident. It's hard, as Jesus told us, to serve two masters, God and mammon, God and material things, at least not well. Today is the last Sunday in ordinary time before we begin the annual season of Lent this week with Ash Wednesday. And this gospel is a good illustration of the task that is ours in this annual penitential season. The work of Lent is repentance and conversion, or more simply stated, rethinking and then change. So let us look at how we are spending our time, our resources, and in this, see how much God is really at the top of our priority list, how much the things of God are really at the center of our lives, and then begin the challenging and often difficult work of getting God back where he really belongs, by getting ourselves and our wants and needs out of the way. The disciplines of Lent are tools to help us accomplish this. Indeed, prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. Prayer enables us to put God first in our day and in our lives. Fasting and sacrifice force us to deny ourselves and in the process free us to generate something more to share with the good of others. So let us begin with a zeal for prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, and then at the end of the 40 days, let Jesus pose his question to us again. And if we can say then that we are most worried that we have not done as much as we might have done to put the things of God, the good of others, before ourselves, then we can say we have made some more progress on the road to God's kingdom, because that's a road along which we as humans only move incrementally, and we do so by repentance and conversion.